the importance of friendship and suffering. I think, I'm going to get to my main one, but I think one of the lessons is the importance of suffering and friendship, or friendship and suffering, right? They set out, the friends, to sympathize, to comfort. They wept aloud. They sat on the ground. No one said a word. So far, so good. Should have just stayed there. But they went and comforted. What we need in suffering is good friendship and good counsel and good comfort. What we also need to give in ministry is good comfort. Right? Friendship in suffering. We must learn to speak with people. I think I'm quoting from my paper now. We must learn to speak with people in their misery. God does not want defenders of the faith. He does not need lawyers for the defense. Honest speech among friends is what really counts and heals. Human communion is the whole point of the book. Right? And we've learned I've learned my lesson about this over the years, about friendship and suffering. People have said really dumb things to me and to us about our own stuff. Have you gotten this from people? I say dumb things like, again, like one, well, God closes, he shuts the door but opens the window. Okay, shut up. Life goes on. Time heals all wounds. Well, it kind of does. It does. It does. Time does heal. It does. It does. Not completely, but it brings a measure of healing. Time does. But that's not something you say 5 minutes after the thing. Because that's really stupid. Are you with me? And I've told this story before, but when I was at this little church in Decatur, within the first year that I was there, one of the elders in that church, a 45-year-old man, was tragically killed in a car accident. And I and one of the other elders from the church and the state trooper, the Michigan state trooper, had to go to the wife's house and inform her. Whenever the pastor and the state trooper are on your front doorstep, it's not good news. It's not going to be good news. The wife opened the door, and we told her that her husband just up the street a mile had been just killed in a car accident. And of course, she went crazy. Right? Have you ever been in those situations? Ever been there? She went crazy. I've never seen such wailing and weeping and so on. And we stayed with her that night, me and the other elder. And, we prayed. I don't think she heard a word of our prayer, but we prayed anyway, right? Because we did that. Well, anyway, so I went back. I was going to go back to her house the next day or the following day because it was time to talk about the funeral. And so as the pastor, I went back and sat down with her, and her name was Buna May. And I sat across from Buna May. I'm a young pastor in my first year of ministry at this little church. And I said to her, Buna May, I just want you to know, I know how you feel. She looked at me right in the eye and she said, Pastor, you have no idea how I feel. You cannot possibly know how I feel. I just lost my husband 2 days ago. How can you possibly know how that feels? She said that right to my face. I'm the pastor of the church. I'm supposed to be bringing comfort to her. And this is what I said, and I know I was an idiot. And I just said, I'm so sorry. You're so right. I'm sorry. I can't imagine how you feel. I don't know. I'm sorry. But I want to be here for you. And I want to help honor your husband with a funeral. You don't know what to say about it, right? You just were stupid. You just want to get out of there. So, think ahead. Don't say stupid stuff. Like when you walk into a hospital room to visit a member in your church who just had surgery the day before, or is in there for some other ailment or illness, and you walk in the hospital room and you say, "How you doing, Fred?" Which I did. I don't know, not so good, I'm in the hospital. Oh, you see what I mean? Just dumb stuff. The importance of friendship and suffering. And I think we need to learn maybe what's the best thing to do? Maybe what's the best thing to do? Oops, it's already here it is. What's the best thing to do?
Listen.
No one said a word. No one said a word. You know, weep with those who weep. Let your tears mix with theirs. Put an arm around their shoulder. And then I think, I can't imagine what you must be going through. I can't imagine the pain that you must be feeling. Those are the things you can say. But not coming with answers, not coming with all your theology, right, Andrew?
What did you say last time about like, it was like an old Jewish practice, where it was like the 7 days of...
Yeah, sitting Shiva.
Yeah.
Right, and you go sit and weep, and you only speak
Unless spoken to.
unless the mourner speaks first. And then that gives you permission to speak back and respond. But you don't go in with your answers. You don't go in. And I learned that too. I spent a summer as an intern in seminary doing a hospital chaplaincy on an oncology floor. Man, did I learn my lesson there. I was a young, what I thought, smart seminary, theologically aware seminary student. I was going to go into these people who were suffering with cancer, and I was going to go into the rooms, and I was going to give them the comfort of good theology. What an idiot. You know what I mean? Don't do that. Don't do that. Right? Study theology, do your doctrine, take the course on evil and suffering and philosophy, do all that, talk about it, but don't you dare bring that into a hospital room. You know what I mean? Which I did with students. And then, so I, friendship, and I don't know. Any examples of dumb things people have said to you? Yeah,
Just pray about it.
just pray about it. Yeah, just pray about it. Or you just need to have enough faith.
Don't think I've heard that one, she said.
Oh, yes. That one, my sister lost her husband 10 years ago to brain cancer. And she was your mom's teacher. Isn't that weird? My sister was Trevor's mom's teacher. How old the heck am I? Anyway, where was I? Where was I?
My mom's teacher.
I know.
Have faith.
Oh, my sister. And the church that she was part of when she was going through that with her husband was that a lot of people came up to her and said, you need to have enough faith. God will heal Dave. You need to pray. God will heal him. Have faith. And then when he died, unfortunately, people came back and said, you didn't have enough faith. You didn't. And it's like, oh my gosh. That was as, I want to say as devastating as but it was adding insult to injury. It was horrific, awful for her. And she was on the verge of losing her faith altogether. Like, really? You lose a husband like that anyway. Which I have some good news. My sister just texted me this weekend. She's engaged to be married.
Oh, congratulations.
For a gentleman. Yeah. Unfortunately, he lives in Buffalo, New York. We'll see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm just happy for her. She's been 10 years along. Because what did Ted Lasso say? There's only one thing worse than being sad, and that's being sad and alone. That's close. Are we done? I think we have time. Okay, we did some things today, everybody.
No.
What I want to do, I'll wrap this up on Thursday with these lessons, and then I want to give you my just little take on points of light on suffering. And then we're going to wrap it up